Angie Maxwell. I'm an assistant professor in the political science department in the Diane Blair Chair of Southern Studies. And I teach Southern politics, intro to government, and I work with and am affiliated with the Diane Blair Center of Politics and Society Research Center that runs a couple of polls, Arkansas poll and a national poll, as well as invests in any kind of research agenda that looks at the South and its place within the country at large. When you have a real sample of African Americans and Latinos and whites, and they're weighted to be proportional as how they would appear in the country naturally, in those proportions, you don't find a lot of differences between the South and the non-South. When you look at white Southerners compared to white non-Southerners, you see differences. What that means is if Republicans want to maintain dominance, they really have to activate that base. They may need to expand that base or change some policies to expand into African Americans and Latinos. And if Democrats want to start competing in the South again, they're really going to have to reach out to African Americans and Latinos. The big difference that does still exist between the South and the non-South, even when you include Latinos and African Americans, is religious differences. We know this. We see a much stronger concentration of churchgoers in the South compared to the non-South. But we also specifically see biblical literalists, a group that has that in the greatest percentage, or the biggest numbers, is African Americans in the South. So in the South, African Americans are privileging voting on policies related to the economy, policies related to programs for equal access, those issues, over their personal views on social conservative policies. The other thing we found in the South and non-South comparison is the group that considers themselves Southern in the highest proportion are African Americans. Identity is one of those intangibles that we don't measure well in forecasting election predictions. But if you get at what's underneath the label, people who identify as Southern tend to report feeling discriminated against, feeling kind of the butt of the jokes, those kinds of things. We see that as a commonality between African Americans and white Southerners, though obviously they probably feel that for different reasons. It can have political implications for the way in which Southern audiences are talked to by politicians. So if you can appeal to people feeling like they're getting the short end of the stick, that could be something that could appeal to whites, Southerners, self-identified Southerners, and African Americans, self-identified Southern label.